everybody, welcome to Crafty Aims Workshop, and today is going to be a little bit different type of video. We are going to be working on a table for my prayer closet, which you guys can see up above. I'll give you a card to click on if you want to see what my prayer closet looks like, although I have changed it a teeny tiny bit, but I'm going to change it a little bit more with this new table that we're going to be making, and I thought I would just take you guys along on the ride with me. So this is, I'm actually in my closet, and this is where I pray. It's not the only place I pray, but this is my dedicated place to pray. Sometimes I'll do scripture writing and some other things, but my husband and I have decided on how we're going to do it. For the most part, I'm sure it'll change as we go along. But I thought I'd let you guys see what we're doing. So what I'm looking for is a table that I can put my books on, because I have a ton of books. I actually have more books than that, but I ended up thinning it out recently because it was just too much. And so I need a place to just line my books up, just for the small amount of books that I'm okay to keep in here, and then I need a space in front of that to where I can have a space to write. So that's the goal, and hopefully it'll work out. So I'm going to show you guys how we're going to do it. Okay, so we're going to start out with a 2 by 4 by 3/4 piece of wood. We're going to cut it down to close to like a 2 by 2, because that's what will fit in that space. I'm in my prayer closet, and I'm getting ready to redo everything. Gonna put in the new table, which I'm so excited about, and then maybe do a couple new things here, maybe get rid of some things, but we'll see. So then I'll have a before and after picture so you guys can see the before and after, and then I will explain my table to you, because I'm sure some of you are gonna look at this and go, what in the world has she done? But I have reasoning behind it, so you will see. So let's get started. Alright, I finished up. I didn't show you the finishing touches, but I wanted it to be a surprise. So here we go. I am going to back the camera up and you guys will get to see what I did. So you saw me put this on. This is just a little light, battery operated. If I want to pray or study in the dark, then I have that. I also have some candles. There's a Yankee candle. That one's called Angel's Wings. I thought that was fitting. I put that there because I don't know if you've seen it in the video, but when I took down the, oh, what are those things called? Instead of using nails, you use the thingies. I tore off some of the drywall or the top layer of it. So this matches the rest of it, and that is my favorite animal and God's creature, so I thought, you know what, I'm just going to use that. So that's why the manatees are there. Probably doesn't look the best sitting there, but I needed to cover up that spot. And then of course that's been there. I never changed. I didn't move it out of the way or anything, or move its position. So pray every morning, every night, and often in between. Here's another candle. Pray more, worry less. And a little black shelf. This is my cork board. It was just the plain cork color, and I ended up painting it with acrylic paint using blue and black for the border. And then I put some of my decorations up there. And hopefully one of these days I'll have that filled up more. I did not want to do all of the Bible verses that I had up here before because it just looked trashy. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to go on the lookout for different pre-made Bible verses, or make my own, but in a more artistic fashion. Some of the verses that have to do with prayer. And then I'll probably also use this for people that I want to pray for, just reminders also. But so I've got that, which I had there before. That's just a little glass angel, or what the world thinks an angel looks like, or similar to one. That's my cross that I found. Always loved, in our hearts forever. And then here's another thing. When I bought one of my Bibles, it had this card in it, and I really liked the saying, plus the Bible verse, which is Psalm 91:11 through 12. It's talking about the guardian angel. And then you have this. It's a bookmark that I got years and years ago from a good friend who's now passed, but it is the God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, and the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And I used the frogs because eventually I'm hoping to have a little thing that says fully rely on God, F-R-O-G. And so that's why the frogs are there. And then I used the flower pins for some of the other ones. And then I brought up an old lamp, which is a candle lamp. Let me show you. Inside is a spring assisted candle thing. It moves the candle up as it burns. And so you can light that candle, put on the hood or the lampshade, and you've got a really nice glowing area. So I thought this was very fitting for this area. And then I have my songbook or hymn book, various different Bibles and Bible versions, mainly King James Version. That's the best one, my opinion. And I have a scripture writing journal, and then a few books sitting there, all about prayer closets or war rooms, or 1 hour that changes, the hour that changes the world. And I'm still going through that one. I'm loving it so far. And then I have another journal. This one right here is a journal I decided a long time ago to put verses that really stuck out to me. So I just handwrite those in there every now and then. Write something in there. Then of course all of my little utensils. I've got the Crayola colored pencils that you don't have to sharpen, you just twist it. These are, I think, the Crayola, twistables. Crayola twistables. Got me one of these because I'm getting older. I'm gonna wash that, but I'm getting older, so sometimes, especially when I don't have my glasses on, I cannot see. And these are little readers, which I broke this morning actually. I wear glasses as it is, but sometimes I'll come in here without my glasses on, and so I still need something to read with, and I don't want to get up and get it because I'm lazy or whatever. So I just put those on. And then I got my colored pens, gel pens. So there's that. And then another Bible. That's the King James Version. That's a little mini Bible. And then my Happy Planner Notes book. And this is the thing I'm using right now to write down who I want to pray for, what I'm praying. And sometimes, every now and then, I'll put a note about something that I need to remember, and I'll stick it in there. And then my cool pen that I got. I think that's Reflections or something like that. You can get at Michael's. I love it. So the table. Oh, before I talked about the table, let me show you this. This is just a bunch of blankets, as you probably noticed me folding up. I had to do it several ways until I got to the thickness that I wanted. But that is several blankets under there. I'm not going to take it apart. But I don't have a cushion right now. So that's what I'm using right now. And I like it actually because it's a little bit stiffer, so it's not going to sink when you sit down on it. It's a harder surface, but it's still comfortable. So that's what I'm using there. And then underneath the table, I still have my little drawers that my sister gave me a long time ago. I think it was her kids. And it's still, I use it for stickers and different things that I might want to put in my Bibles when I'm doing my Bible gardens. And got some pins in there. Lotion, glue, paste, chapstick. I've got some pins to use on the cork board. And then back here, if you can see it, let me bring it out so you can see. This is a little hat box that someone bought me a while ago. And I'm just going to use it for a trash can. Let me open it. I just found a little trash bag to put in there. I think actually that is one of those bread bags that you can buy. So that's what I put in there. And then a bottle of water. I don't know if you can see that. My Aquafina. So okay, now the table. So I designed it this way. Let me see, move this. I designed it this way with the feet or the legs back further because when I sit under it, my knees are going to be hitting right there. And I didn't want, I wanted to be able to get underneath it. My husband said it should be fine, especially since I have all that stuff weighting it down. So when I'm putting my elbows on there, it's not going to easily tip over. And if it does start to, then I'll know. So let me see. Let me set this up so you can see me sitting. And you can understand my reasoning behind it. So I can scooch all the way up. I have to scoot my blankets up. I can scoot all the way up. And I can be right here on top of the table. And I can be comfortable writing or doing other things. I can be kneeling, putting my head on the table, doing my prayers. And I'm able to get underneath this table because it's too thin. It's not wide enough for my knees. So my knees are actually sticking out from this. So that was the purpose of having the legs so far back. Maybe one of these days, if it's too much trouble, it may be an issue, then we can move the legs or just add another leg, or I might even put one here in the middle and just wrap my legs around it while I'm sitting there. But right now, I think it's going to work. I'm not having any issues. I like how it's set up. And I really like what we did. My husband was instrumental in making this with me. He wanted me to do a good majority of it, which I did. And I think I did pretty good. This trim here, I got it at either Lowe's or Home Depot. I can't remember now. And it is rough cut, and there's not an easy way to sand it down enough to get rid of the roughness. So there is still some roughness in there, and that I just could not get out without totally ruining it. So, but that's fine. The paint that I put over it has kind of smoothed it out even more, but you can still feel that there's some roughness to it. And same thing for these. We had just the square piece for the leg, and then we added trim, or I added trim to the front and to the side, on the front too, and then on the back I only added it to the side, to the sides of them. And then you saw when I used the colored stain. I recommend, if you want, this looks more like paint to me. This stain was really thick. The first time I put it on the first layer, I didn't read the directions fully, so what it told you to do was put a layer on and then get a rag and wipe it off, a dry rag, and wipe it off. And then just keep doing that until you get the color that you want. But I didn't do that the first time. The first time I put it on, it was just real thick, and I left it like that. And so I tried to sand it down, as you saw in the video. Sanded it down a little bit, and then I would do it again. But it still turned out to be a very solid color, so you're not able to see the wood grain, and that's what I was trying to go for with just the stain color to it. So I don't know, it's not bright enough in here. Let me see. There's some wood grain to it, but not really. I still like it, but it wasn't the look that I was going for. I was trying to get more of a wood grain look to it. But I'm good. I'm still happy with it. I'm actually really excited about it. I used some polyurethane on the top, or on all over it, but mainly on the top I put 4 layers. On the sides right here I put 4 layers, and then on the legs I just did 3 layers. The reason I did 4 on this one is because I kept getting bubbles and I couldn't get the bubbles out. I would sand it a little, real light sanding. I'd put another layer on, so I must have maybe stirred the polyurethane too much, or it was the foam brushes I was using. If you overbrush, sometimes it'll bring up the bubbles, and so that it could have been a whole lot of things. I'm not sure. But my husband said just keep applying it and the bubbles will eventually fade away. You won't have that. But after the 4th layer, I thought, no, that's good enough. I can feel just a little bit, but you know what, I'm not worried. And I don't even think you can see the bubbles anyways, but you can feel it. You can feel it. So, what do you guys think? That's my first, if I'm not mistaken, no, this is my second wood project. My first one, I made a music stand. My husband mainly did that one, but I told him what I wanted. So really, for the majority of work, I could say I did quite a bit of it. So really, this is my first woodworking big project. So I'm pretty happy with it. I will say this, we did not measure right, or I didn't measure right, because I was not accounting for the trim size. This would have fit right into the trim on the wall, but because I did not calculate the trim that I added to this, it made it bigger. But it still works. The door still opens pretty wide actually, and there's no issue there, so that works out. So I cleaned it up just a little bit. As you can see, I took down some of that mess that I had up there. So tell me what you think, you guys. If you got any suggestions, if you think I went wrong somewhere, let me know. Comments below. And tell me, do you have a prayer table or a prayer desk? What I was actually going for, I got tired of looking for something to put in here because I was getting tired of using that plastic thing. I saw a Korean drama, and they were using the old antique Korean, what are they called? I think Korean desks. It was like a box, and then it had the real decorative things on the side and all that, and I wanted one of those, but of course I'm not going to find that around here, so I finally came to the decision to just do a table, and that way I can put things underneath the table if I need to. I can put my legs underneath the table, and I can put my books on top of the table. So it just worked out. Well, I think that's all I've got. Let me know if you like this video. Give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. And if you want to see more projects like this, we do have our kitchen table that we're going to be doing. If you'd like to see that, let me know and I'll try and get that together. Alright, you guys, I will see you later. Thank you for watching Crafty Aims Workshop, and hopefully I'll have more interesting crafts for you guys. Alright, have a great one. Don't forget to pray. Bye.